First and foremost, Islamic banking seems to be unfamiliar concept in Indian economy. Besides having a huge potential, Islamic finance is considered to be inefficient and impractical in Indian conventional system of banking. The search for alternatives to conventional banking in the aftermath of the world financial crisis turned the spotlights on Islamic banking in many parts of the world. Today, that Islamic banking has unfortunately been misunderstood in India as a religious charitable venture restricted to the country's Muslim country. Despite its striking growth in other parts of the world, such as Middle East, Southeast Asia, which is chiefly included in Malaysia and Indonesia, and Europe, it is yet to be positioned as a realistic alternative financial system and not a religious one. In this video, we will discuss the evolution of the Islamic finance in India and the concept of Islamic finance and banking, and erode some of the major misconceptions of the country.
First, in 2008, a high-level committee on financial sector reform of the Planning Commission of India, headed by Dr. Horom Rajan, that recommended to the introduction of interest-free finance and banking as part of mainstream banking in the interest of inclusive innovative growth. Next, in 2010, Kerala State with Islamic NBFC, that partnership with the Kerala Development Industrial Corporation, named the Al Barakah Financial Services. Barakah will be a unique company with an authorized to share capital and perform on the principle of Islamic financial institution. Al Barakah will not operate as a bank and extend loans, but make a direct investment into infrastructure project not linked with pork, alcohol, and non-halal products. In terms of the profit, they share in the form of dividend and not as interest. Islamic Bank in India do not function under banking regulation, but they are licensed in the Reserve Bank derivative of NBFC, RBI amended Act 1997, and operate on profit and loss basis Islamic principle. Later, in February 2011, First Indian Islamic Bank started as an Islamic NBFC named Al Barakah until now.
So in today's world, Islamic banking are gaining more important parts in different parts of the world. The survey of India 2011 shows the population of Muslims in India are about 13.4% from the total population. So this large number of Muslims are need and Islamic banking services in India. Move to the needs of Islamic banking in India. Firstly, Islamic banking are needed because it can contribute towards India's economic growth and serve as a mechanism to overcome the liquidity or inflation problems. If the Islamic banking is opened in India, it would benefit the Indians, as those money which are still lying in the banks, if invested in the Islamic bank, would be improve the economic conditions of the Muslims. Hence, the interest-free banking would help to improve the education, help in the employment, and more of the courses that related to the Islamic banking, so that people will aware of this kind of banking. Secondly, Islamic banking are developing financial and investment instruments that are not only profitable but also justly motivated, since the Indian economy would be benefit from the inflow of funds from GCC countries. Other than that, Islamic banking also provide an opportunity for the entrepreneurship by providing finance on the basis of profit, loss, and risk sharing. Respectively, the Islamic banking can boost the entrepreneurship in India through its financing service. Therefore, there is a desperate need for Islamic banking, which could be a solution for entrepreneurship development. Next, with the introduction of Islamic banking in India, the problem related to inadequacy between the labor and the capital ratio also can be solved. It can be solved through the equity finance, which can be a new revolution in the field of agriculture and unorganized sectors. Last but not least, the Islamic banks will also create job opportunities for the students of Islamic finance studies, and it can also create a new field of studies and courses for the upcoming students and to those who want to make a career in the Islamic banking. To summarize, the existence of Islamic banking has the ability to contribute in the economic growth of India. Entrepreneurship in India would be encouraged, and it will bring FDI in India, capable of providing capital to small, poor entrepreneurs in India.
The factors affecting the development of Islamic finance in Malaysia. Number one is economy. India's economy is recovering, benefiting from higher nations' overall spending and private business sectors, showed positive impact towards economy growth compared to 2011-2015. The expectation growth in 2018 is about to be 7.3%, and positive growth can be seen in 2019 with 7.4%. Number two is finance. According to Quartz, India's economy growth in financial year for 2018 is one of the slowest compared to the past 4 years, with 6.75%, and before it was between 7% and 7.5% in the fiscal year in today's scale. Number three is demographics. According to UN data, the India's 2018 population is already 1.35 billion. The country itself has increased and doubled by 17.7%, adding 181.5 million people. In the nearest future, India is expected to overpass China's population and become the #1 country with the most populated country in the world. The last one is ethnics. It is not surprised that India is one of the most ethnically diversified countries compared to other countries in the whole world. Sometimes cultures, mixtures, religions, and ethnic backgrounds lead to some conflicts between specific groups with the nation. The reason is that India has 8 major religions. Citizens use 15 different languages that can be spoken in various dialects dependent on the states in the country. 9 different territories, as well as tribes and sectors. Recently, government is concerned our growing religions in the country, which will be needed to look at international and state levels all in one together. Right now, the implementation of Islamic banking will be beneficial to India, especially if we take the country's current state into consideration. Currently, India is going to pace of banking where so many frauds are happening, like Sitam, Kingfisher, recently PNB scam, and many more.
Potential of Islamic finance in India. The Islamic community could benefit from the initiative of Islamic banking to a large extent. Islamic banking can be an alternative to conventional banking with different financial products but same goal of financial inclusion to be achieved. Islamic banking is not just for Muslims alone. It is available to non-Muslim community, which can have a wider range of choices. The first advantages is financial inclusion. Conventional banking system may be for some Muslims unacceptable as it is not in conformity with the Islamic law. Thus, they remain excluded from conventional banking systems. For the Muslims, Islamic banking could open new doors, enabling the betterment of this community and achievement of the goal of financial inclusion for all. The second advantage is inclusive growth. The goal of inclusive growth can be fostered with Islamic banking, as easier and cheap credit can be provided to large number of people with little or no collateral, which can help to penetrate the banking facilities to lower strata. The third advantage is flow of funds. Islamic banking will open avenues for flow of substantial funds in the market. It will help in mobilize large amounts of money from Muslims who participate very little or not at all in conventional banking system. Next advantage is prohibition of haram activities. Islamic banking prohibits investment in activities which are considered haram under Islam, such as gambling, alcohol, weapon, etc., and promotes investment in real economy activities that shall lead to social welfare on the whole. The last advantage is wider financial choices. Wide range of financial products will be available to people as new modes of financing are introduced under Islamic banking. An alternative system of banking could promote competition, innovation, and efficiency.
After many discussion, debates, meeting, committees held to weigh down the pros and cons of Islamic banking in India, there are few challenges for Islamic banking in India. First is no predetermined return in the form of interest. Conventional banks raise the deposit only after promising a predetermined rate of return on their deposits. However, return under Islamic banking system will be determined only afterward, which is unavailable under current banking system. Next is destabilized secular nature. It is argued that Islamic banking in India will destabilize the secular nature of the banking system of India. By amending banking and taxation law to conform to a particular religion is going against the secular fabric of our nation. Next challenge is conduct of terrorism activities. Concerns are being raised that Islamic banking can also channel for terrorist group to channel money into India. And the fourth challenge is political weapon. Islamic banking can be politically exploited and used as a political weapon. Any step to introduce Islamic banking can be interpreted as oppressing Muslim. Last but not least is lack of expert. Lack of expert to develop a proper framework for Islamic banking in India also pose a barrier.
In a nutshell, we can conclude that the stage for the introduction of Islamic banking in India has been set, but it is a matter of time lag given green signal. But introduction of Islamic banking without a solid framework may lead to chaos and conflicts. Therefore, preparatory work is essential for including the Islamic banking in the mainstream banking sector, which is at present lies in the domain of NBFCs. This demands amendments in the banking law that are governed by the Banking Regulation Act 1949, as amended from the time to time. Introduction of Islamic banking will lead to inclusion of certain chunks of population who refrain from the mainstream banking due to their faith, and they are a sizable percentage from among the 13% in 2001 of Muslim, which are forecasted to be 19% by 2040. So that's all from us. Thank you.